Assalamu alaikum, 1 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Muhammad Munib Hamid. First, the headlines. Prime Minister says Pakistan has not closed supply routes into Afghanistan despite suspension of military aid by the United States. Pakistan has called for global cooperation to eradicate poverty and achieve social development for all. Law enforcing agencies have arrested 11 suspects from various Afghan refugee camps in Balochistan. Chairman All Parties Hurriyat Conference was warned that Indian statement rulers instead of resolving Kashmir dispute can lead to a full-scale nuclear war in the region. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi says there is no military solution to the Afghan conflict. In an interview with Bloomberg in Islamabad, he said there would be little progress until all sides enter into peace talks. The Prime Minister said Pakistan is ready to help mediate talks with the Taliban as they have to sit down and be a part of the talks. About the U.S. decision to suspend security assistance to Pakistan, Shahid Khaqan Abbasi said U.S. military funding was already very minimal and billions of dollars in reimbursements are still to be paid to Pakistan from the Coalition Support Fund. The Prime Minister said despite aid suspension, Pakistan is not considering closing U.S. supply routes into Afghanistan and also continuing intelligence cooperation with the United States. Pakistan has called for global cooperation to eradicate poverty and achieve social developments for all. Pakistan's permanent representative to the United Nations, Maliha Lodhi, addressing the 56th session of the Commission for Social Development in New York, said, "We can combat poverty through realistic and determined social and economic policies." Maliha Lodhi said despite tremendous progress in reducing global poverty, significant disparities remain between and within countries. The ambassador said that social discrimination and exclusion based on religion, race, gender, and ethnicity are hindering global efforts to sustainable development. Ambassador Lodhi said China-Pakistan Economic Corridor Project is an example of South-South cooperation for the achievement of shared economic and development objectives. Maliha Lodhi said Pakistan is also implementing people-first strategies to steer them out of poverty. FC Balochistan, along with intelligence agencies, has arrested 11 suspects in intelligence-based operations in Surkhab on Afghan refugee camp, Kanak Valley and Moru River, as well as Bolan areas. Weapons and ammunitions, including explosives, mines, detonators and fuses, mobile SIMs, and communication equipment were also recovered. In occupied Kashmir, the chairman of All Parties Hurriyat Conference, Sayyid Ali Gilani, has warned that Indian rulers' rhetoric instead of resolving the Kashmir dispute can lead to a full-scale nuclear war in the region. He was referring to the Indian Home Minister Rajnath Singh's statement in which he directed the Indian forces to shoot limitless bullets on the line of control. Sayyid Ali Gilani appealed to UN Secretary General to take notice of the provocative statements of India and use of influence to halt the bloodshed in the Indian occupied territory and take steps for its settlement as per resolutions of the United Nations. Overseas, Pakistani's Welfare Council, United Kingdom, has organized a car rally in front of Indian High Commission in London to express solidarity with the people of occupied Kashmir in connection with the Kashmir Day. The UN Security Council has rejected the U.S. statement condemning the use of chlorine gas in Syria, in which more than 20 civilians were injured, including children. U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley urged the Council to adopt a statement and strongly condemn the successive chlorine gas attacks against Syrian people. The Russian Ambassador Vasily Nebenzia terming the U.S. statement as propaganda campaign against President Bashar al-Assad. He stressed that the report should be credibly and professionally investigated. One Turkish soldier was killed and 5 others wounded in a rocket and mortar attack by militants when the Turkish forces setting up a military post in northwest Syria. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the Facebook link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.